There we go.
There we are.
Well, hello, folks. Good evening, morning, afternoon. Happy Christmas, Easter.
Happy Hanukkah. Right.
So this week, what do we have?
Well, who is the probably highest profile bass player on the planet? Certainly, I appreciate that someone close to home might have been in the 80s, but probably took over that mantle. Maybe, do you think? I don't know. What am I talking about?
Well, I think what you're alluding to is Flea out of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Is a very well-known and well-respected bass player.
Yeah, I kind of think he's, there's very few, aren't there, bass players that become, sort of one of the real mega famous ones in the band. I'm kind of thinking, of, who am I thinking of? Obviously, Dearest Mark.
Yes.
Flea.
Yes. What playing-wise you're talking about?
Yeah,
like, sort of up front playing the bass? Because there's loads of great bass players.
There's loads of great
Paul
bass
McCartney
players.
and Sting and all those sort of things.
Sting?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about one where it's like when you think of the band, you think of the bass player almost first.
Okay,
or at least, or certainly as joint equal.
Sure thing, yeah.
That might be a bit harsh on some. But, for me, he was, this pioneering funk rock, a kind of super cool dude as well. And I think a lot of the tracks as well, a lot of those Chili Pepper tracks were written over, the bass line was the kind of the driving musical element of the track.
Yeah.
I just, and its timing's right as well for anybody that's sort of my age, because they would have, all that early Chili Pepper stuff would have come out when we were teenagers and all that.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, that's a long time ago, actually,
yeah,
when they first started.
I remember, but being 14, 15 years old at school, and a friend of mine who was into some, I remember him being into like some really heavy duty, like he was in the Dead Kennedys and super kind of punky, dirty, subculture-y kind of real underground vibe. Mm. And then relatively shortly after that, they kind of hit the big time, didn't they, with that sort of Under the Bridge and that kind of album, Blood, Sex, Sugar, Blood, Sex,
Chocolate.
Sugar, Magic, which is still now
2 eggs.
One of those eponymous albums where is eponymous the right word? I don't think it is it?
Yeast.
One of those mega albums that you just have to, it doesn't date. It's just a great album full of great tunes.
Zest of a Lemon.
Was that a tune on there? No, you just made that up, haven't you?
Don't worry about it. So anyway, he was kind of synonymous though with playing a Stingray, wasn't he, in the early days?
For me, Stingrays and Gallien-Kruger bass amps. I thought that was kind of like the staple diet of the Flea.
But in more recent times, it transpires that he's now using this very thing.
I definitely remember the music video that launched earlier this year. Was it late last year? But the music, and all of a sudden, Flea is standing there looking badass with a beaten up old jazz bass. Mm-hmm. And then Fender very quickly jumping on those coattails going, hey,
as you would.
Want to do something?
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
And,
that's how it works.
What was the story about how he got the jazz then?
Well, apparently, I was just read online that that he posted on sort of social media that he was after a nice old jazz bass.
Yeah.
And this fan came up with this, the one that he owns now, and gave it to him. Apparently, I don't know if that's completely true or not, but it's a lovely story. And so what he ended up with was a 61 jazz bass, which is a lovely thing, and that's what this is based on, a 61 jazz, but with 64 pickups on.
Right, and that's because that's the one he's got, or that's just
that's exactly what he's got, and apparently it was a very rare Fender custom colour, possibly the only one in existence. The one that he's got. Yes.
So it would have presumably started off life as some sort of shell pink. It doesn't. I don't believe it's a refinish. So I think it's an original, shell pink 61.
Yeah.
It's obviously faded, so it's almost got like a grey tinge to it, hasn't it? That's sort of like a sort of, if you mix sort of pink and grey together, you'd get that kind of muted look.
And it's got that kind of 60s kind of matte finish to the paint.
So what Fender have done is Fender have used their Road Worn series. So Road Worn is kind of like top of the range Mexican stuff. So it's based on obviously they're a 61 jazz bass. They've used the American proper American 64 jazz bass pickups in it.
They do sound very good, I have to say.
I agree. They've used a nitrocellulose finish, which is what they use on Road One, because nitro allows you to kind of relic a little bit more authentically than you can with if you use a poly finish. And it's Flea's sort of signature Fender bass with his name, his moniker.
He's etched it
into the back plate. Other than that, it doesn't say anything about Flea on it. So if you're not really a Flea fan, but you just think the bass looks cool, it's fine. There's no signature or anything on it to suggest anything. And let's go through some tones. We're using the Dark Glass 900 that we've used for the video before. So
or after when it
depending
goes
on
out.
what order we edit this up in. These dual concentric controls aren't terribly common anymore, are they? So what are they doing?
Okay, well, it's like the stacked sort of controls. So you have volume on the top.
Yeah.
So that's a volume for that pickup, and a volume for that pickup, and then an individual tone for each pickup as well. Because normally with the jazz bass you just get one tone that does everything.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit more control with this. So you're going to have
Is that notched as you're turning it around?
It is. Not to any end particularly, but it's just got a kind of.
Yeah, I wonder. Again, I'm showing my ignorance here, but I don't know if that. From what I understand from the website, that is period correct. So.
Oh, okay.
But don't shoot me if I'm wrong. But yeah, and they're both kind of like a notched.
Yeah.
It's like Nathan said, they're not like a 5-position notch.
No, it's not like you've got a centre detente.
No. And it's not active or anything like
that.
No.
But
anyway, play away.
Okay. What do you fancy? We'll go through some.
Well, I guess
some clean
maybe
tones.
Some Flea inspired. What's this? You don't like it? Oh, I see. What should we play on a Flea bass?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Bit of Jaco Pastorius.
Yeah.
All right. Bit of Flea.
The other thing that I read the quote of Flea saying is that he wanted this bass so that he could be cool like John Paul Jones.
Oh, right.
So feel free to throw some, Led Zeppelin in there. I don't know. Just
probably
anything.
won't be doing that.
Okay.
Right. So what's a bit of Flea? He goes. So I think what we've learnt there is that bass lines can be very boring.
Yeah, that was, it's because it needed somebody rapping over the top of it to give it that kind of vibe.
Well, you can do that later. I look forward to that.
But you get to put it in you.
Hey!
But you get to put it in you. I only know the last 3 words. I don't know what he says to the rest
Please
of it.
don't put it in me.
Okay. Well, look, tell us, what does it feel? Is it wide neck, narrow neck, lightweight, heavyweight? What is it, Tell the viewers, Nath.
It's quite light. It's nice. It's got that road-worn neck.
Oh yeah, like a sort of a satin finish. Well, not like a rubbed off lacquer finish, isn't it?
Well, that's nice. That feels nice. It's just normal kind of jazz bass profile.
Yeah.
Maple neck, rosewood fingerboard.
It's really not. I mean, again, the detail. It's the tortoiseshell scratch plate, and it's got the holes in it for where the thumb rest would have been.
Yeah, and it all kind of looks old. It's all been aged.
Ashtray cover would have been, and all that kind of.
Yeah.
I know what are they, not the ashtray cover. There was like a bridge. Not this kind
I know
of
what you
bridge,
mean.
But like
that
a bridge-shaped thing.
Yeah, that
used to go
awful
over the
thing.
neck pickup.
That
I don't know what
imagine
the point of that
most
was.
people would immediately have gone home and taken that off because it was a huge chrome
Yes,
sort of bridge
like a bumper,
that made it
wasn't it?
impossible to play the bass. What they were
don't know what-
thinking.
yeah, I don't know why that-
And there was a thumb thing. Oh, was that
Well,
there?
yeah, that was there. So it wasn't even a thumb thing. It was like a.
What were you supposed to do with that?
Play with your play the strings with your thumb while resting your index finger and your Saturday night finger on the thing.
Well, that's a funny ideas, didn't they, in those days?
Anyway.
So yeah, cool, man. It's a nice bass, you know. I think the pickups sound really good.
I so love this bass. You know, it's like there's for me, there's like nothing to not like about it. I love the fact that it's, you know, Flea is one of my favourite bass players of all time. I love vintage instruments, so the whole kind of, you know, the 60s inspired vibe, I love that. The colour, they've so nailed it. You know, it's like, it's just a toned down enough version of Pink for it to not look like you've, you know, almost bought it to be Larry. You know, it just looks like a great lived in. I always think, you know, if I'm being slightly negative about it, the relicking on Road Worn is not as authentic as the relicking is in their custom shop. Right. You know, this.
But that all comes at a premium, I guess.
Absolutely. You know, so this is like this is almost like mass-produced relicking rather than, you know, individually done to try and nail it.
Yeah, because what's this going to cost?
$949.
Oh, so 950 quid, right? So a custom shop instrument's going to be
$3,000.
Well, there you go. So,
yeah. So, you know, bearing in mind this is proper American pickups. It's just a great looking bass.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's cool. I wouldn't mind playing this at all.
Yeah, and because it's nitro, so nitro is the really, really thinly applied lacquer. This will change as well as you own it, you know, and you know, particularly if you use it a lot and you play in a certain style and you rub areas of it, you know, heavily or whatever, that finish will again degrade and wear through and change. Do you know what? Nitro is also one of the really easy finishes to remove if you just fancied re-lacquering it a different colour. Obviously you wouldn't do that yourself, but, you know, relatively straightforward job to take it somewhere if you wanted that to happen. So, look, big fan. Well done, Fender. Well done, Flea. Super cool.
Do you get anything with it? I mean, what's it? Do you get any?
Flea's undying love and affection, I suspect.
I think I've got some interesting optional extras.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I have.
What have you got?
You got a Flea cone with it.
You've bought this in from home, haven't you? You've raided your wife's poodle parlour and thought, I'm going to get a Flea comb.
My wife is dog groomer, by the way. Look, you get a Flea collar with it.
Wow.
It's good, isn't it?
That's amazing.
And also, I found this. Look, you get some Flea powder with it.
Now that is the kind of stuff that I would expect to find in Flea's gig bag.
Optional extra.
Is that really Flea powder? I've never even seen Flea powder. Or is that level 42 backup, you know, stuff?
It's some talcum powder that I found at home.
Oh, I see. For those sweaty gigs where you just got to...
Well, I don't use talcum powder. It's very bad for you, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Look, apologies for the minor lack of Flea-based bass lines there. I think we managed 2.5.
Three? What are you talking about? There was 3. What else? How much do you want?
I don't know. Anyway, look.
Leave them wanting less.
There you go. Hope you enjoyed this video and have a lovely day.
Yes, wherever you are.
Come to Andertons soon and check out this wonderful bass guitar. There we are. I've been the captain.
I've been Nathan.
And this has been Andertons TV, which if you enjoy, you can subscribe to by pressing a button somewhere. There. Here.
Bye. Say goodbye, Lee.
Bye-bye, Lee.